What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm about to go there, y'all. So look, Steele went on Jay Cutler's podcast. Y'all know Jay Cutler, former starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears. She went on Jay Cutler's podcast and stated that on the U.S. Census form, she would choose to identify or indicate that she is both black and white as her ethnicity because she's biracial, right? And that's perfectly fine. I've heard of plenty of biracial people choosing to identify as both black and white. They don't want to identify as one over the other, so they identify as both. That's fine. That's not a problem. However, the problem comes into play when Steele then states that she was questioned about why she would choose both ethnicities when Barack Obama, who was also biracial, chose black on his U.S. Census. Now, of all the responses Steele could have gave, she could have simply said that, hey, Barack Obama is free to choose to identify however he wants to. I respect it, and she could have left it at that. Or she could have said something like, hey, he can identify however he wants to identify as, and I can identify as however I choose to identify as, and we can have those differences, and that's fine, right? But that's not what she chose to do. Oh, no, that's not what Steele chose to do. She chose the Sambo bootlicking route by stating this, and I quote, I find it fascinating Obama indicated he was black on his U.S. Census form, considering his black dad was nowhere to be found, but his white mom and grandma raised him. But hey, you do you, I'm gonna do me. Now y'all tell me, what the fuck does President Obama's father being absent have to do with how he identifies racially? All of y'all watching this video, all y'all subscribe to my channel, y'all tell me what the fuck does President Obama's father being absent have to do with how he identifies racially? And the answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing. Not one damn thing. Zero, zilch, nada. Right? I wasn't aware that our genes disappear from our bodies when one of our parents is not around. I don't know if that's a new thing that's going around or not. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I never heard of that ever before. And like I said, I've also heard of biracial people saying that they can identify as whatever they choose to identify as. So why would it be so puzzling or fascinating that Barack Obama chooses to identify as a black man? What would be so puzzling about that, right? Let me also say this. Race is a socio-political construct. There is nowhere on this earth that neither Barack Obama nor Steele could go where both their black ancestry would not be apparent or affect how the world interacts with them at all. Their black ancestry would be apparent due to the texture of their hair and the color of their skin. Seriously, did she think Barack Obama grew up without a mirror in his household? Like, I'm sure he looked at the texture of his hair, he saw that melanin on his skin, and he knew that the world would see that he is of black ancestry. He simply knew that the world would see him as a black man, and he accepted that and lives within that truth, no matter if his father was in his life or not, right? That's point blank, period. He could look at his hair texture and tell, look, I'm different. I'm a black man. The world's going to see me as a black man. I remember watching J. Cole. Y'all know performing artist, rap artist J. Cole from North Carolina. He was raised by a white woman, right? But he's half black and half white. And he said, you know, if the police ever stop me, I can't pull out that I'm half white card. Nobody would look at me and look at a white man at all. And quite frankly, he's correct, because when I looked at him, he just looked like a light-skinned black man. Just like a light-skinned black man I went to school with, high school with, elementary school with, and college with. He looked like the everyday black man. The same thing with Barack Obama. When he was first introduced to me in 2004, when he first got on the scene and started buzzing, when I was a small kid, he just looked like a light-skinned black man. I had no idea that he was half white. And Barack Obama probably knew that when the world looked at him, they looked at a black man regardless if his father was around or not, right? But this is the problem. You see, Steele knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she is exactly who black people thought she was. She mentioned being fascinated about Barack Obama claiming to be black when his black father was absent in his life in order to piss black people off. She wanted to take a shot at black folks. That's all that was, man. She said the remark to take a shot at black folks because we've been on her butt about all the bootlicking Sambo behavior in the past. All the harmful rhetoric that she said in the past regarding black folks, we've been on her head about it, and she feels some type of way. So in order to get back at us, she gonna poke at us by saying that type of statement. That was just a shot at us, period. And I don't know if she's endured some type of trauma in her life. I don't know if a black girl made fun of her when she was little or bullied her when she was little, right? But if that's so, she's chosen to take that out on the black community as a whole, and I can't rock with it at all. It pisses me off when I see certain things like this play out, because anybody that knows me knows that there is nothing that I loathe more than a self-deprecating black person. There is nothing that I loathe more than that shit, right? You know, and I find it extremely uncomfortable for her to be venting her racial trauma, if that's the case, for her to be for her to be venting her racial trauma on Jay Cutler's podcast, especially after Jay Cutler himself, echoed Sage Steele's sentiments about having a lot of respect for Candace Owens. You know what I mean? And she said she had a lot of respect for Candace Owens, which I'm not surprised by, because they both are self-deprecating black women who also spew rhetoric that amplifies negative stereotypes of black people. And that was the bullshit that I didn't like when she made this whole statement. You know what I mean? Like, and furthermore, let me get on Candace Owens' ass, because she says she has a lot of respect for Candace Owens. Candace Owens also says a lot of things that undermines black people's advancement in society as a whole in order to gain pats on the head and pats on the back from white America. So I can never respect her ideologies at all. She undermines a lot of stuff. She undermines black advancement for, acceptance into white America, which I can never respect at all. But back to the topic at hand. Sage Steele basically, she leaned into a negative stereotype that black men are absent in their children's lives in order to validate her stance about racial identity, which is a bunch of bullshit. This woman went on she used her national platform, her humongous platform, to perpetuate the stereotype that black men are not in their children's lives by putting that little tidbit in her response. You know, Barack Obama, his father wasn't even around or whatever, and he chooses to identify as black. I kind of find it odd. That was some bullshit. And she played that shit on the slick. But she did that to take a jab at us. And she tried to play into a negative stereotype of black men in her response, which is trifling as fuck. That's downright trifling. I can tell you right now, as a black man, I've been in both of my children's lives since they were born. I've been in both of their lives all the way through. Every black man that I have contact with and I'm close with have all been in their children's lives since day one. I don't hang around or know any deadbeat black men personally in my inner circle or even outside of my inner circle within my family. I don't know them. You know what I mean? So that bullshit that she talking, I really don't respect it. But she really leaned into a negative stereotype of black men on Jay Cutler's podcast, which is really, really weak. Right? And once again, I'm going to say it one more time. There is nothing that I loathe more. There's nothing I loathe more than a self-deprecating black person, even if they consider themselves half black. Again, I know I shouldn't be shocked at Sage Steele's behavior. I know I shouldn't be shocked at her behavior. When she was on national TV and she allowed a white man, Chael Sonnen, y'all know Chael Sonnen, y'all may not know him, he's a UFC fighter. She allowed Chael Sonnen to touch her hair, rub in it, and then say, it's real. Right? He said it's real when describing her hair because, and I found that shit very, very insulting because he was then perpetuating the stereotype that all black women wear hair weaves, right? When he said it's real. And she allowed Chael Sonnen to touch her hair and lean into the stereotype that black women, he leaned into a stereotype that black women all wear hair weaves, and she didn't even check him for that. She allowed him to rub in her hair and then lean into a stereotype of black women and didn't check him at all. So I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised at Sage Steele's behavior or stuff that she says, but it pissed me off a whole lot, man. Furthermore, when Sage Steele became the topic of conversation today, all on social media, I saw pictures of her and her white husband floating around on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, so on and so forth. And I would like the opportunity to say this. It's not about her dating interracially at all. It's not about her dating interracially because who she loves is her business. She can choose to love whoever she wants to love. It is what it is. I have no problem with that at all. You're free to love you're free to love whomever you want. However, it becomes black people's business when she uses her immense platform to uplift white supremacist talking points. That's when I get pissed off. When you use your big platform to uplift white supremacist talking points, that's when all gloves come off with me. That's when I'm really ready to go in on your ass at that point. When you do that, that's when I don't respect it. Sage Steele is up here legitimately sounding like a close cousin of Uncle Ruckus. Uncle Ruckus is the self-hating black man on the Boondocks, the cartoon The Boondocks, who's one of the most brilliant cartoons, it's one of the most brilliant satire-based cartoons to ever come out. She really just sounded like a close cousin of him when she's out here spewing certain talking points like this. This shit is ridiculous. Then she try to play the victim card. Oh, none of my black coworkers at ESPN really like me. They didn't get along with me because you're doing bullshit like this. Who can respect that as a black person? Who can come up to you and respect you as a black person when you're undermining your black people on a national platform, man? Nobody can respect that shit at all, man. I'm looking like this, like, what the hell, right? Again, she used that whole thing about Barack Obama's dad not being present to poke fun at black folks because we've gotten on her head about her unsavory and bootlicking behavior in the past. It's something we don't respect. It's something that we don't accept at all. And then she sees like, oh my God, nah, because she really be on bullshit a whole lot and think we're going to just let it slide and let it ride. I can't, like, I was looking at this, I was baffled at this. Like, this woman really leaned into a stereotype of black folks on this dude's on Jay Cutler's podcast. Furthermore, it doesn't surprise me that Jay Cutler on the bullshit he on either. It doesn't. But he said he had a lot of respect for Candace Owens, once again, who says a lot of negative things about black folks and undermines us in a tremendous way, right? She often just basically tries to say that all these stereotypes of black folks are true, and she try to go in and she says negative stereotypes. She amplifies negative stereotypes of us. And that's something I can never respect. She's harmful to the advancement of black people. And so Jay Cutler to say he respects what she's saying and shit. And he really said it. He said it only to reinforce what Steele already said. She respects Candace Owens. And I'm looking like, yeah. See, that's the bullshit that really gets you talked about within the black community. That's the shit that really gets you no respect within our community, man. Because black folks don't respect people who be out here bootlicking and all of that. Right? You're undermining black advancement or leaning into negative stereotypes for white acceptance. And but maybe Sage Steele really just believes this shit, or she's really just trying to poke at us, or no, she was trying to poke at us with that whole Barack Obama and his dad not being around comment. But the other things that she does, I don't know. Maybe she really believes that or whatever. But this shit is just, it's really not acceptable. It's not acceptable at all. So I want to say, Sage Steele, if it's in you to do so, because I don't know if it's in you to do so. If it is in you to do so, you must, I repeat, you must do better, because these comments from you are shameful, they're out of touch, and they're intolerable. Point blank, period. They're all of those three things, and it's just really like, it's mind-boggling the way, you know what I mean? Like I said, she can choose to identify however she wants to identify as. I don't know one person who would look at Sage Steele and say, you know what, she's both black and white. We're going to say, that's a black woman, because she looks the part. She looks just like a black woman. Regardless of whether she knows it or not, I don't, you know, maybe she does. She just want to identify as both as respect to her parents. But, I mean, you can identify as both, but that's perfectly fine. But I just know a lot of people are going to look at her and say she's a black woman, right? But again, it wasn't even about how she identifies as the problem. The problem is when she tried to basically validate her statements by talking shit about basically trying to say that a black, basically try to reinforce or lean into a stereotype that black fathers aren't in their children's lives. That's a bunch of bullshit. Bunch of bullshit. And then Chael Sonnen basically trying to, I was just so pissed off when she let Chael Sonnen rub in her hair and say it's real. Like, he leaned into a stereotype of black women all wearing hair weaves when I know a whole bunch of women that I went to college with, that I went to high school with, black women in my family who don't wear hair weaves. Right? I didn't, that was some bullshit to me, man. And I'm looking at Sage Steele like, this is what you own for real? This is what you own, and you wonder why the ESPN, your black colleagues at ESPN didn't really rock with you. Because you come out here and say outlandish shit like this, and you know what you're doing. You say outlandish shit like this in order for your career to advance, or for you to get into certain stratospheres, or open certain doors for you to be at certain tables or whatever. I don't know. You say shit like that in order to advance or whatever, and you think we gonna rock with you and accept you with open arms when you basically shit on us? How? What the fuck? No, hell no. That's not how that go. You can't shit on us and expect us to show you warmth and embrace. Hell no, not even within your own professional field, within your own professional environment. Black folks ain't rocking with that across the board, man. But Sage Steele, again, if it's in you to do so, you must do better. The comments are shameful, out of touch, and intolerable. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Peace, y'all.